Inshallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Wassim Haroun from Concert, and today we're going to be talking about construction and the metaverse. First of all, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person in Riyadh. Technical difficulties, but we've had to change to accommodate. All right, so metaverse, very big topic, of course. And for us, we had to specify what it is so we can understand how to deal with it. The metaverse, first of all, can be as big as you want it to be. Within it, we know the metaverse is accurate with everything that we've been doing. The metaverse also includes and must include reality capture, something that we'll be talking about quite a bit. The metaverse can also simulate what is and what will be and what should be. And this is also a key point in perfecting the RealVerse. The metaverse is inclusive and democratic. Again, another portion that will help us perfect the RealVerse. The metaverse is inexpensive because it allows you to try before you buy. A fully immersive metaverse of really good quality can allow real clear decisions to be taken well before you spend on mega construction projects. The metaverse is also digital twinning to the max. It's been talked about a number of ways you can digital twin, but taking it to the full reality of animation, it takes you to that max level. The metaverse can also help you realize your imagination. You can push the limits of your norms. We will also be introducing something called metameeting.ai, something that at Concert we've been working to develop and hopefully launch beginning of next year. The Concert family is large. We started out as a consultant. We've gone a lot further. We have a geospatial arm. We have a special tech arm. We have an investment arm. And also very recently, about 3 years ago, we set up Chicone, which stands for Challenge, Innovate, and Change Construction. And we're also supporting from AI to a number of different startups, as well as linking up with some major technology providers. Okay. And very quickly, our timeline. Since 1990, either personally or in the team over here, we've been working on animation, graphics, etc., as well as engineering since the 1960s, all the way to reach where we are right now from 2020 to 2022 and launching a metaverse solution for meetings. It's intended for the construction industry. A couple of years ago, we actually did a project where we literally live streamed to over 500 audience a building that was just under construction, and we took all stakeholders on a major tour of it. This was live streamed, live animated, and the avatar was able to answer questions. Another project that we did with Metameeting was a restaurant that needed to have its signage approved. Again, this restaurant was in Seattle. And during the COVID times, they could not get a permission or even a reasonable timescale for when the city authorities would come and approve them. So we created the 3D file, invited them all through a streaming website using whether their iPad, their Mac, their iPhone, and then they all walked through the session. They looked at the signage, they looked at the interior, and within about an 8-minute meeting, they rendered an approval. The restaurant owner, it saved them about $7,000, a minor little thing. But also Metaverse should include reality capture. And as Concert, we've been using reality capture tools from laser scanners to LiDAR to now NERV to capture every single one of our projects on a daily basis. That means I can have an expert render his opinion on a project from anywhere in the world. Metaverse for infrastructure, which is about 90% of our industry, of our work, we use it a lot in order to convey our design intent precisely to the customer, to the client. So what are we really meeting? Well, so we meet in the metaverse to perfect the RealVerse. And this is, again, meetings is where a lot of the construction decisions are taken. So we start with the design review stages where we meet to convey the design intent. We go to the simulation stages where we actually then live out the project before the project is built, and all the way to what we call remote supervision. And it's something, again, we've been using often and often because I don't need to have my specialist in every single site. I can now have them within my office checking on at least about 5 or 6 different sites. Okay. Metameeting, which we're about to launch, and we're testing it heavily for the last year. You can upload any design file, any 3D design file to Revit, etc., including LOD 300 so far. 3D virtual real-time environments, and this is the key point, real-time environments are immediately uploaded. It's cloud operated, so you can actually immediately stream it to a number of meeting people. We allow up to about 9 people the meeting to be attending. We have a voice over IP system that actually even takes speech into text, so your minutes of meeting are taken care of. You can have your own branded meeting space within our metaverse. And then all the meeting tools that you expect from actually initiating a task, sending it to the next person. And we aim to make your meeting to the point and efficient. This is something that every single person that we've been testing it with from design processes has come back to us and said, this is the only way to meet right now. We move to the next part. Why did we create it specifically on the meeting stage? Because we're looking at the targeted areas that we want to overcome. You've heard this data a lot. $1.6 trillion is the productivity gap in global construction. But we also started looking at the other part. Is 1.8 trillion, is actually cost of bad data. You've heard it earlier, the rework cost. Yes, the rework cost is what we want to eliminate. And cost of bad meetings in general, and this is only the US, is about 399 billion. Because meetings never achieve their target. Okay, so this all leads within the construction industry to rework. Now, what do we mean by rework? In the US alone, $31.3 billion is rework in construction led by miscommunication. In the UK, it's about $10.8 billion is led by miscommunication. In Australia, it's about $8.4 billion. We don't have the specific details for the GCC market, but we're digging into that, and it's already huge from our own experience. Again, MetaMeeting.ai will include all of these things, but with the main intention of conveying the design intent and making sure and tracking every single stage of the construction in a very immersive sense. Okay, we will allow the facilitation of swift recall of approved decisions because, again, it's a meeting setup with clear visual intent. You can visit again and visit again. You can even now tender a project so the contractors know exactly what the design intent was. No longer handing over 2D design files or even a BIM file. It shows you the real design intent. All right. So very simply, we have been working on remote design and supervision tools internally for a very long time now, even before the catalyst of COVID. COVID kicked us into high gear recently. For us, the idea of metaverse in construction is closely tied to sharing in the virtual what will happen or what is happening in the real world, and thus allowing a remote experience that is as close as possible to the real one. In due course, we also noticed that by having our projects in the virtual as well as in reality, we benefited from features that go well beyond what reality confines us with. For simply, just imagine in the virtual, I can actually freeze time. I can look at a 3D scan over and over and over again in immersive 3D VR. And then until I know exactly where the problem is or what the solution is. Also, we can climb a mountain in 1 second and get a bird's eye view of my whole project. And that's also wonderful. So basically, simply, I can look at my project from the macro and zoom in all the way down to the micro and do it streamable, shareable everywhere. And when I need a second opinion, I just call on the expert to come and join me. MetaMeeting.ai will soon be launched. And if you have any questions, please do contact me through any of the organizers over there. Thank you very much. And I hope I kept it to the time.